I'm me the stylist, no scammer, no style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress. You charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever. So get up and unite for your team. Give the best we've got. It's how we rock. Every band, every preach, every part, every deal, every wicked, every soul. And the heart and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean flows. When people come out all nation, with the team in a unification. When the stadium ram beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification. It's how we play. It's how we play. When the stadium ram beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification. It's how we play.
Hi, I am Candy Pang and
What a guan?
What a guan?
That a guan, pa.
What a guan?
What a guan?
What a guan! Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
That's a guan, what a guan?
Walking on the Word with Apostle Professor J. Andrew Scott every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m.
Hallelujah. And they have some people now where you look forward for them. They bring a joy to you. They make you laugh. When you see them, they make you give you a good vibe. And them people that you want around you, man. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now follow me with your heavy self, man. Sure. Your heavy down, so. Hallelujah.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
So get up and unite for your team. Give the best we've got. It's how we rock. Every preach, every part, every deal, every wicked, every soul. And the heart and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean flows. When people come out all nation, with the team in a unification. When the stadium ram beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification. It's how we play. It's how we play. When the stadium ram beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of unification. It's how we play.
Time to get this party started.
Cricket played. Louder.
Come to the biggest party in sport and be part of the action. Get your tickets at the local box office or at cplt20.com. Watch it live on Rush Live and Louder, the home of cricket in the Caribbean.
How we play.
Hey, what a guan?
Hi, I am Candy Pang and
What a guan? What's a guan?
That's a guan pa.
What a guan? What a guan?
What a One! Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
And that's a guan pa. What a guan?
Good evening and welcome to Lead Story Prime. I'm Tyrone Reed. Tonight we will continue to unpack the controversial pre-dawn demolition of illegal dwellings in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney. We'll get an update from Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, Tova Hamilton. Also tonight we will play for you an exit interview from the immediate past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mark Malava. This is Lead Story Prime. I'm Tyrone Reed. Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us inside Lead Story Prime. Now, the answers have led to more questions, and many of the questions remain unanswered. This in relation to what has transpired out in Cooper's Pen, Trelawney. It's alleged the demolition of homes took place in a pre-dawn operation, which was preceded by the police coming into the community and removing the men. That's what the residents claim. Now, the police are claiming, off the record that is, that that's not the case, and that the operation that was led by the police in the parish was in fact a different operation from that of the demolition exercise. Well, Lead Story Prime caught up with the MP for Northern Trelawney, Tova Hamilton, and we asked her to provide the latest on the ground, and this is what she had to say.
Is that I'm informed that the owners of the property, New Falmouth Resorts Limited, do intend to come back and continue the demolition exercise. And so we are trying to urge the people to relocate. The fact is that the first group of people that were impacted by the demolition exercise last week, majority of those people are really not from Trelawney originally. So we met with them on Saturday, advised them that if they can go back home to their families, even in the short term, that would be good, because the exercise will continue. That is what we've been told. No. I don't know when, but there is a plan to continue the demolition exercise. As it relates to the original 99 defendants, those now who were from the original lawsuit, we've been trying to get them as well to see if they can pack up some of their belongings. If they have somewhere to store them, they store them. But that is what we're really trying to get now. A lot of people some of them may not want to act, but for those who are acting, we're trying to see how best my office can assist with relocation, as in if they want financial assistance with like a truck to transport their goods somewhere, I will definitely assist with that.
A few things
as best as I can.
A few things to unpack there, MP Hamilton. Mm-hmm. You did say a number of the people affected by the pre-dawn demolition exercise.
Maybe about 90% of them, yes,
are not from Trelawney?
No, they're not.
So how did these individuals end up there?
I've also seen interviews being done with people on the ground in Trelawney that are not residents of Cooper's Pen.
So how did these people end up there?
Well, the individuals that were demolished, quite a few of them came in for work. So some of them work with Royalton or Rio, some of the hotels along the corridor. Others work in other hotels, some in Montego Bay. We have persons there from Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, St. James. So far that I've come across. Very few, maybe 2 or 3 persons there are really from Pipascan.
So you just think this happened organically, or is this a political ploy to stack people in your constituency? What is it?
I can't speak to those who just came, because those have been probably, some of them less than a year, some of them since Hurricane Melissa. So I can't speak to why. I can't speak to whether or not that is political, but I can say the issue overall, based on what we've been unpacking, the occupation of that property had political undertones.
To begin
originally.
Yes. And the court did describe the government's intervention as being iniquitous, based on some reading I've done. But let me switch gears a bit and ask you, MP Hamilton, the police and that aspect of the entire exercise has come across to many right-thinking Jamaicans as being concerning. It's said to be a pre-dawn raid. What do you make of the involvement of the police? It was said the police came in, took the men out of the community before the demolition exercise took place. How do you see that as the Member of Parliament?
Well, I find that kind of irregular. When I asked the police the morning of the incident why they took men out of the community, I was informed that they were doing a separate exercise. That is what I was told. But it is highly irregular. I leave the JCF to do their investigation and come up with whatever answers that they will definitely uncover at that time, whenever that happens. But I find it very suspicious that something like that would have happened at that particular period of time.
Are you sharing with us here and now, Madam MP, that the police are investigating what actually took place on the ground in Trelawney?
I would want to think so. I would want to think that some kind of investigation must be taking place. You can't have a situation like this, of national importance, and nothing is being done.
Have you spoken to anyone in the police high command?
On the morning of the incident, I spoke to one ACP Miller, who was in charge of the operation.
Did he give you a commitment that an investigation would ensue?
He was in charge of the operation in Cooperston.
An ACP was in charge?
Yes.
Do you also find that to be of note?
I find that to be of note.
How I know you're an attorney at law, MP Hamilton. How have you advised those so affected by this detention that some may describe as being arbitrary? How would you advise them to move forward with this? Would you advise them to consider legal action against the police?
Well, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be able to say much until we hear more what actually happened from the police side. I don't know on what authority they acted or under what. I'm not sure why they acted. So until we get more, I wouldn't be able to advise the residents. I don't know if the separate operation that was reported to me was actually a separate operation in and of itself. So more information needs to be gathered and obtained before I would even say anything. It would be irresponsible to do otherwise.
But the police operation and the demolition exercise dovetailing the way it did on that morning, you're saying to you as the Member of Parliament, that is a bit curious and it requires additional investigation.
Agreed. Rightly so.
All right, and you did advise us earlier that you have been told that the demolition exercise will continue, but you don't have a date, you don't have a time.
No.
Will we see a repeat of what happened? Will there be another pre-dawn demolition exercise? And do you find that to be inhumane for a demolition exercise to be carried out that early in the morning?
So on the day of the incident, last Tuesday, when I went in, I was informed by residents that they were told that they would be coming back in 2 weeks to continue the exercise. So the residents are aware that there is an intention for the owner to continue the demolition exercise.
Of course, our interview there with the Member of Parliament, the sitting Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, Tova Hamilton. We'll have more for you on the other side of this break.
Time to get this party started.
Cricket, 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 played, 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 played.
Louder,
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 louder, louder.
Come to the biggest party in sport and be part of the action. Get your tickets at the local box office or at cplt20.com. Watch it live on Rush Live and Louder, the home of cricket in the Caribbean.
It's how we play.
Welcome back to Lead Story Prime. I'm Tyrone Reed. We are continuing to unpack the controversial demolition exercise that took place in Cooper's Pen out in Trelawney. Of course, lots of questions remain unanswered. The police, and there are questions for the police to respond to as to whether or not the police are prepared or have responded to those questions, certainly not to us here at CVM, telling us exactly what took place in the wee hours of the morning and whether or not their operation had any ties to the pre-dawn demolition being carried out by the owners of the property out in Cooper's Pen. Now, we've been talking with the Member of Parliament for Northern Trelawney, that's Tova Hamilton, and she has been giving us the latest on the ground. Let's go back to that interview with Tova Hamilton.
Pre-dawn, I don't know why it was carried out in that manner. I would imagine that maybe the owners are saying the residents are aware, so maybe that's the best time for them to come in. I don't know. I can't speak to it. What I would want, though, is for those persons who are there not to wait for the owners to come back, because I'm sure it will be something similar. And at that point, there is little that we can do to stop them.
Understood. But do you find it particularly offensive, though? Do you find it inhumane?
I find it inhumane. I do find it inhumane. I was told on the ground that some persons who were trying to save their assets took some of their assets on the outside, but they were still demolished or they were still destroyed despite them trying to save one and two of their assets that they had. So I find it very inhumane for them to carry out their activities in the way they did. I'm hoping that there's not a repeat of that. But then based on the court order, I see where there is a rate of seizure and sale attached to the operation.
You did say you saw a copy of the court order and it wasn't a demolition order. Do you stand by that at this time?
It's a writ of possession, recovery of possession, and there was a seizure and sale order that was attached to it.
Does that mean...
Hence why the bailiff would have been there to probably take goods and sell to recover whatever. I think there was a $50,000 damages that was attached to the original order for each defendant to pay the claim on $50,000. So I'm thinking that is why the seizure and sale order was attached.
So is it a demolition order? Can they still demolish?
I did not see a demolition order. No.
So would the demolition then be unlawful based on what you saw?
I don't know if one exists elsewhere, so I can't speak to whether or not it is lawful.
And my final question to you, Madam MP, because I know we've gone over the time you promised us. What about those who are looking on and they are accusingly saying that the Holiness Administration, the government that you're a part of, they're not doing enough to help the residents of Cooper's Pen? How would you respond?
Not doing enough. I would want to know what more we should have done. We were not aware that this was coming. The residents of Cooper's Pen were fully aware. They were the ones in court. They were aware that the matter was resolved some years ago and that the owner wanted their property. To be honest with you, coming in as Member of Parliament, I was not even aware fully. I knew that the land did not belong to the people, but I was not updated or told of this court order that was granted. So that was a recent knowledge that I picked up. But they were aware that the matter has been in court now for a number of years. So outside of that, I'm not sure how the government should have responded.
What about those who advance, Ms. Hamilton, that they, in the past, governments have intervened to stop this kind of activity?
But when in the past, the last thing I checked when I did my research in 2014, 2012, somewhere there, the government did intervene, but the court order, the judge at the time indicated that intervention was unlawful.
Yes, the judge did say that in his ruling. Finally, Tova Hamilton, can you tell us right here and now whether or not the administration you're a part of will find alternative lands to put these individuals on who have been so affected by this demolition exercise?
I have advocated for some assistance to be given to the residents. I know that checks are being made currently to determine the most suitable area to relocate them. Until I get some definitive response, that's all I can say at this point. But as I said to you before, because this thing is so imminent, we're trying to get them to either go to some family in the meantime, try to secure their goods, their belongings, their property, so that if and when the demolition exercise continues, the damage would not be that great.
Madam MP, thank you so very much.
Of mitigation, yes.
Thank you so very much, Madam MP. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Of course, that interview there with the sitting Member of Parliament for Trelawny Northern, Tova Hamilton of the Jamaica Labour Party. She provided that update just this evening. So that's the latest on what's happening out in Cooper's Pen, and we'll continue to watch that one for you. We also have for you in tonight's edition of the program an exit interview we conducted with the immediate past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mark Malava. Let's have a listen. All right, we are going to have that interview sorted for you, but let's take a quick break right here inside Lead Story Prime. When we come back, we'll try to have that interview with Mark Malava lined up for you. Soon come.
to get this party started.
Cricket. Cricket played.
Louder. Come to the biggest party in sport and be part of the action. Get your tickets at the local box office or at CPLT20.com. Watch it live on Rush Live and Louder, the home of cricket in the Caribbean.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Natural disasters like a hurricane can be catastrophic, not just to the environment and infrastructure, but also your mental health. Here are some useful tips to help you cope before, during, and after a hurricane. Get the facts. Reliable information is crucial to assessing your risk and taking reasonable actions. Make connections. Talk with family members or friends and share how you are feeling. Practice self-care. Do activities that bring you joy and relaxation, such as meditation. Get to a shelter if you cannot stay in your home or you do not have access to power. Again, a healthy relationship and a strong support system with family members or friends is vital, so share how you feel. Listen to music that will help to put your mind at ease. Taking care of your body by eating well, drinking water, exercising, and getting enough sleep can help regulate your mood. Limit your exposure to television and social media content about the worst effects of the hurricane. Overexposure can increase distress. Engage in fun and therapeutic activities, such as exercise, your favorite hobbies, and social activities.
On the Word with Apostle Professor J. Andrew Scott every Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m.
Hallelujah. And they have some people now where you look forward for them. They bring a joy to you. They make you laugh. When you see them, they make you give you a good vibe. And them people that you want around you, man. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now follow me with your heavy self, man. Sure. Your heavy down, sir. Hallelujah.
So get up and unite for your team. Give the best we've got. It's how we rock. Every part, every preach, every part, every deal, every wicked, every soul. And the heart and soul and passion, and the culture, Caribbean flows. When people come out all nation, to the team in a unification. When the stadium from beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of beautification. It's how we play. It's how we play. When the stadium from beach at the grandstand, and the meaning of beautification. It's how we play.
Start your journey with a Jane Bank Small Business Loan with small business loans with as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million.
The time is 8:30.
I'm me and the stylist, no scam and not style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress, no charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for staying with us right here inside this evening's edition of Lead Story Prime. I'm Tyrone Reed. Now, let's turn our attention to that interview we discussed just before the break with the immediate past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mark Malava. We'll change gears a bit and turn our attention now to the tenure of outgoing president of the powerful Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, Mark Malava. His tenure recently came to an end. The current president was sworn in, I think last evening she was. That's Lasagna Harrison. But Mark Malava, yes, the outgoing, the now erstwhile president of the JTA, he joins us now to talk about his time in office. Mark Malava, top of the evening to you. Welcome to Lead Story.
Are you tuning?
Yes, we're hearing you, Mark Malava, and I get we'll load your image. Wonderful. There you are. Mark Malava, how would you describe, first of all, thanks again for taking the time, because we know this is a busy time for the JTA with its annual conference ongoing. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. How would you describe your tenure as JTA boss, Mark Malava?
Fast-paced. The year came and went, but given the number of things that I believe that we have achieved, I think it has been a very successful year.
And you would consider it successful by what rubric? What are the top three things that you accomplished during your tenure that you would say made it a success?
Well, I'll give you about 4 or 5. I think one of the things that we were able to do was how we responded to the Hurricane Melissa crisis with respect to our members. The national executive of the JTA had initially approved some $35 million to help with our response. We were able to distribute over 2,200 care packages across the length and breadth of the country. In addition to that, we transitioned into giving out cash grants to a number of our members. The total figure is running somewhere around $50 million, well, exceeding $50 million in terms of what we have been able to do in terms of cash grants to our members. I think another important achievement this year is the fact that we were able to partner with Sagicor to offer a critical illness plan for our members, and the cost for that is less than $1,000.
It does appear we're having a little difficulty with Mr. Malava's connection. They were going to try and sort that out and see if we can get back to his comments. Of course, we're conducting an exit interview of sorts with the immediate past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association. That's Mark Malava, and he's going through. I asked him for 3. He says he'll give me about 4 or 5 of the things he has accomplished that made success. He rejoins us. Go ahead, please, Mr. Malava.
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Yes, so I indicated earlier that, in terms of our response to Hurricane Melissa, that was a big component of what we did last year, this conference here. We initially draw down some $35 million to help our members based on directive from our central executive. We distributed over 2,200 care packages across the length and breadth of the island. In addition to that, we have moved towards, well, we have moved over in.
Not hearing you.
That initiative is running somewhere around $50 million. I think we have been able to achieve that. Another critical thing is that our partnership with Sagicor. We have managed to partner with Sagicor to come up with a JTA Protect Plus critical illness plan covering some 12 critical illnesses that upon diagnosis our members will receive a cash payout of up to $3 million, and the cost for that is under $1,000 per month for our member. For our members. With respect to negotiations, notwithstanding the fact that we have not yet closed the deal with the government, we achieved significant, what I would describe as some significant, in terms of achieving some things that we can tick off in terms of the items of claims that were red lines, and we have achieved some significant movement with that. Another thing that I believe that we have done well. Hello, am I being heard?
Yes, we're hearing you, Mr. Malava.
Yeah, another thing that I believe that we have done is, started the process of setting up our JTA Foundation. We also have a number of properties that we have also started the process of, taking the steps towards investing in these properties for the benefit of our members. So I think this year, we have achieved a lot, negotiations, and whilst we have not closed the deal, we have achieved some movement in that area. And I think by and large, we have restored a level of confidence in the JTA for our members, by our members.
Mark Malava, there are those who look at your history and say, they wonder if you've brought politics into your tenure as JTA boss because of your attempt at representing the People's National Party on a ticket in a general elections. Do you think that overshadowed your presidency any at all?
It is where it is. Absolutely not. For many, it was just an attempt at deflection. We have placed the issues squarely on the table. When we step out to represent our teachers, we represent teachers from all across Jamaica, from different political persuasions, religious persuasions. Each individual has the right to their own persuasion, and I do have that right as well in terms of my persuasion. Has it informed or influenced how I advocate? No. Certainly not. At the end of the day, we are all educators and we are all in this thing together. We either drown together or we have to row the boat together. And my style, I understand that it has made some people uncomfortable. But the one thing that cannot be discounted is that when I put the issues squarely on the table, I am most informed about those issues, and I can challenge anybody in any forum whatsoever in terms of those issues.
As you make mention of your style there, Mark Malava, I have a clip I want to play for you, and then I'd like to ask you a question about it. Let's have a listen.
So based on the occurrences from one particular minister, he clearly could not see that the welfare and safety of students and teachers was paramount in light of reports. Rather, he wanted to see proof. This is a long time them pepper spray this man.
Oh God.
Colleagues, hear me now. We must never back down.
The voice there of the immediate past president of the JTA, Mark Malava, who is with us. Mark Malava, there are people who've been saying online, and of course we need to give credit to the Gleaner for let's give credit to the Gleaner there. Mark Malava, many people will hear that and say inappropriate for the boss of the JTA to be making a comment like that. How do you respond, Mark Malava?
I gave a 50-minute outgoing speech. And you know very well, Tyrone, that you guys like to take a piece and put it out there for sound bites. That particular statement that I made was made within a particular context, and I made the point that clearly if the minister could not see, underline see, SEE, that what the issues were with respect to shelteries being on in schools, then clearly he was blind because he could not see. And I made the statement based on certain things. Mark
Malava, I have to challenge you here because
yes, I expect you to, Tyrone. I expect you to.
I'm certain you expect the point. It wasn't the media that made light of a serious incident. You did that on your own accord, and that's not taking you out of context. You said it. You said it's long time them pepper spray Desmond I. That is making light of an unfortunate incident in a sitting member of parliament and a member of the cabinet. I'm asking you, in hindsight, do you, let me get a question out, Mr. Malava. In hindsight, do you see how that can be construed as inappropriate, and do you withdraw?
No, you should know by well, Tyrone, that I wasn't going to withdraw the statement. No, I can't. I don't withdraw the statement any at all. The statement was made within a particular context, in which I was alluding to the fact that the minister clearly could not see what the issue was. And of course he had an experience, and I was alluding to that experience because when pepper spray gets into your eye, you cannot see. And I made the allusion that is long time than pepper spray Desmond eyes because he could not see what the real issue was at that point.
And you are not making the connection with why this can be seen as entirely inappropriate. And Mark Malava, that is why many people, this is why Mark Malava, many people, hear me out. Let me get the thought out, Mark Malava. This is why many people look at the education system and sector and say, this is what is wrong, because we cannot differentiate between what is appropriate and inappropriate. Someone who is the immediate past president, at the point you are making that statement, you are still the president of the very powerful teachers union, and you're making light of a serious incident involving a sitting member of the cabinet. How can that be appropriate, Mr. Malava?
But it was certainly not inappropriate from where I sat.
But that's a part of the problem, Mr. Malava.
Yeah, but allow me to finish a bit the point, Tyrone. I made a statement within a particular context. Yeah, and I alluded to the fact that this was an incident, and in much the same way as that incident was unfortunate. In much the same way that incident was unfortunate, his utterances with respect to wanting to see proof was also unfortunate.
All right, portions there, excerpts of that exit interview we conducted with the immediate past president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Mark Malava, doubling down on his position. This is Lead Story Prime. I'm Tyrone Reid. We take a break right here. When we come back, we will have for you an interview with one of the men from Cooper's Pen who was allegedly detained by the police. Soon come.
Imagine if I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Prevention is critical. That's why I recommend Colgate Total.
It's 15 times more effective at fighting the root cause of oral health problems. Prevent problems before they...
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Hi,
What a guan?
What a guan?
That a guan, pa.
What a guan? What a guan? What a guan? Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
And that's a guan, pa. What a guan?
Welcome back to Lead Story Prime. I'm Tyrone Reed. We're going back to our unpacking of this controversial demolition exercise that took place in Cooper's Pen recently. Of course, it has raised several issues, igniting or reigniting national conversation on this whole business of the illegal occupation of land. It also raised questions about the role of the police in this particular exercise. It is alleged by the people in the community of Cooper's Pen that the police came just ahead of the heavy-duty equipment that demolished their homes and took the men from the community before the exercise was carried out. Now, we haven't gotten anything on record from the police on this, which is quite telling, quite frankly. We are still waiting word from the police formally on this. However, what we're hearing coming out of the police force is that this was a separate incident, operation from the exercise to demolish the homes. It just happened to be on the same morning and hours apart. Yes, that's what the police would, our sources in the police would have us to believe. But we continue to watch that one. We have two of the men from Cooper's Pen. They're joining us tonight. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Lead Story Prime on CVM TV. Indeed. Good evening again, gentlemen. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
All right. Good evening to both of you. Could you tell us what happened on the night, the early morning rather, of the demolition exercise to both of you? What happened to you guys?
They come to our house 2 o'clock in the morning, take us and bring us go to jail. Come back 3 o'clock, the house demolished. Oh. Everything. Furniture, house, bulldozer down.
What time did they what time did they come to your house, sir?
2 o'clock. No man, 2 o'clock then come.
2 a.m. in the morning?
2 o'clock. Yes.
And what were you told?
2 a.m. in the morning. Take off. He was sleeping.
What were you told by the police?
He was sleeping. He just say, come, get up out of the bed. They just bring me down to the station. Don't tell me what they're charging me for, nothing.
So, and they took you down to the station, and then what happened after that?
They locked me up. Let me out back like after 3 in the afternoon.
And by the time you got to the community, your homes were demolished?
Yeah, everything demolished.
All right, let me hear from the other gentleman we have here. I gather both of you are residents of Cooper's Pen. What happened in your case?
You want to
my case. When I came, I was here in the morning, but I get a call. I have a business also and a house. So when I came to the scene, they barred me from entering. So I was there until I get to come through the barrier. So when I get there, I saw the tractor tearing down the houses and so forth. So I run to my business place, try to get up my stuff from the business place. When I realized that they was tearing off one part of the door. That's a two part of building, 2 part of door on the building. So I saw they tearing off one of the door. So I run to the back to get my stuff out of one of the room at the back. When I leave from there and I go back there, I see some of the men in there that like searching up the place, taking away some of my stuff. So they robbed my room then they come in the building. We have a business place. And they take out a lot of stuff also.
Rob, you said they robbed. I get a bailiff. Bailiffs were there, and they were empowered, based on what we're hearing, to take stuff.
They have some guys. They have some guys in vest overall, vest and face mask and everything. So they helping you also, but they're looting also too. So they take away stuff in my business place and in my house.
Bring your phone, your watch, your chain.
So you were not detained by the police. You were not detained.
No, I wasn't detained, but I have my stuff take away.
All right, and let me go back to your colleague there who was detained, your fellow resident there. When you were detained by the police, you were never told for what reason you were being detained, whether or not you were under arrest. While you were at the station, what happened?
They just lock me up over there for a couple hours, then they let you go. They just like they bake we, but they know they're gonna mash down the place, so they just bake we, get all of that done, and their team gone, then they let we out. We have to take taxi. Some of us didn't even have no money to get back home, Yeah.
And how long have you gentlemen been living in Cooper's Pen?
Me, I lived there from 2002.
2002. And how about you, sir? How long have you lived there?
2002.
So both of you have lived there since 2002. Were you aware that this property was owned by a private company and that you were in fact illegally occupying this property?
We have a discuss with one of our things as an MP at the time. I think I don't remember if it's 2000, but I think 2000. But I don't remember where it's in 2000. But we went to town, Kingston, to the court, and we went there and come back, and they were selling the land for I think so $15 million. Then after like a year after or so, they raised the price of the land. So from that I don't hear anything about it. I hear nothing about that land anymore.
So, but how do you end up here? You didn't purchase the land. Why did you build on it without having a title? That's what I'm asking.
No, because I met someone and I was living up here. Then I was in a rent house, and then I automatically get piece of the land. Because land is there and people are using it, so I try to utilize peace also.
So, and when you say a rent house, you mean on this property in Cooper's Pen here,
yes.
Someone was renting you a place there?
No, a house. I was renting a house.
Right. On this same property that is being illegally, that is being squatted on, as the phrase says, the word says. So you were paying rent on this property, on this piece of land that didn't belong to the person that you're paying rent to?
Yes.
And how about you, my good sir? How did you end up there? And why did you build on land that you did not own?
I was doing construction work, man, help build up the hotel, So we just decided to stay down here, find a little spot, build up somewhere, I know it's illegal, but we just was living, Nobody did want it at the time. Yeah. That's it.
But no, the owners are clear. According to the court has ruled that the owners of the property should take possession. So for those who are looking on, the Jamaicans, and they're saying, look, yes, this is a tough situation, but you built on land that does not belong to you, and the owners have a right to reclaim their property. How do you gentlemen respond to that?
My response to that, they could deal with it better, because even if they put a stop order on the land for like a couple years, and they don't come back to us. So if they're gonna come back again, I think they should give us like a notice to know that we need to come off the land by such time. And the way how they do it, they come in the night. So that's the way I feel bad about it. Because if they come like in the day and tell people to come off the land or give you some notice or some sign on the property.
So where are you gentlemen now? Now your business place, your homes have been demolished. Where are you now?
I'm at my business place right now. It's no lights. I have proper GPS on it. They cut off my GPS light. My fridge also damaged. My things in the fridge, my things in the business is on the ground.
So and this is on the property where the demolition took place. That's where you are now.
Yes.
So the structure wasn't demolished?
No, one part of it.
And you are aware that it's being said that the owners of the property are coming back to demolish the remaining structures. You're aware of that?
I heard about it because they say they're gonna come back. That's what they say. They're gonna come back.
Well, all right. We'll continue to try and stay in touch with you. But thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Indeed. All right, you heard there from residents of Cooper's Pen, one of them telling us that he was detained by the police. No reason provided for the detention, and then he was released later that day. But the police sources we are hearing from would have us to believe that this is a separate operation. We'll continue to drill down into that one for you and get some answers. That's where I have to bring tonight's edition of Lead Story Prime to a close. I'm Tyrone Reed. Have a good evening.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
I'm me the stylist, no scammer, no style me.
From the market to the farm to the office, money talk is everywhere. But are you making sense or nonsense? The Bank of Jamaica brings you common sense with BOJ. Real stories, real laughs, and real lessons to help you protect, grow, and manage your money. Mattress savings.
At least my mattress, you charge me to sleep on it.
Partner plan.
Remember last year we needed our payouts early? But Miss Pam gave it to her cousin first.
Or a sketchy loan flyer.
Electrifying deals.
See why making the right financial choices is pure common sense. Brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, empowering everyday Jamaicans one episode at a time.
Grandpa, it's 2026. You can't keep hiding all your money in every single pocket forever.